You got plenty of money. Don't need that to keep racing. Is it worth the risk to keep on going?
Sure, to win.
He's the intimidator. You know, when he's at his best, watch out.
He's a dirty, rotten scoundrel.
And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Elliott goes inside. And Earnhardt still got the lead.
Dale Earnhardt is bad to the bone.
Dale Earnhardt's racing career started in Kannapolis, North Carolina, where a young Dale Earnhardt dropped out of high school and used all the money he had left to enter local stock car races. He most likely had the same dream all his competitors had, and that was to reach stock car racing's highest level, NASCAR. NASCAR was created by Bill France, who saw an opportunity to make American stock car racing the go-to spot for people to earn fame and fortune through driving circles. One of those people was a driver named Ralph Earnhardt. Ralph Earnhardt was a star, and he used his racing talent to lift his family out of poverty. He did not want the same for his son, Dale Earnhardt. Dale Earnhardt saw his father as his greatest inspiration, and he saw racing as his only shot at greatness. Despite his father's wishes, Dale Earnhardt did become a racer and compete at the highest level. However, Ralph Earnhardt wouldn't live to see it. Ralph Earnhardt died of a heart attack at age 45. In trying to prove that he belonged in a race car, Dale Earnhardt would accidentally become one of the greatest NASCAR drivers to ever live.
Covering a city block a second in rush hour traffic. Take a look at that.
Dale Earnhardt going to the lead, taking Bobby Allison with him.
3 wide.
Under Ty Scott.
Baker back in the pits another time. Earnhardt blazes back into the front of this group.
Dale Earnhardt found himself in the lead of the 21st annual
Earnhardt is the leader.
Daytona 500.
Earnhardt reported as the leader.
This was his first race at Daytona International Speedway, and he was leading the race everyone wanted to win. He was doing this in his rookie season as well, and this race may have been the most important race in NASCAR history. The reason for this is because this was the first ever live televised 500-mile race in the history of American sports, and NASCAR found themselves in the middle of fortunate circumstances, as a blizzard covered the eastern US and left families stuck indoors with nothing to do but watch the Daytona 500. There was an estimated 15 million people watching that day, and they saw a young Dale Earnhardt lead his first ever Daytona 500 and only his second NASCAR race. Dale Earnhardt would end up finishing 8th this time around. Not bad for his rookie season, but his first Daytona 500 would be overshadowed by what happened in the final lap, as it was perhaps the greatest finish in NASCAR history.
All come down to this. Out of turn 2, Donnie Allison in first. Where will Cale make his move? He comes to the inside. Donnie Allison throws the block. Cale hits him. He slides. Donnie Allison slides. They hit again. They drive into the turn. They're hitting the wall. They're head on the wall. They slide down to the inside. Let's watch those third place cars. They're out of it. Who is going to win it? Coming down, Richard Petty is now pulling out in front. Darrell Waltrip is in second. A.J. Boyd is in third. Here they come. Waltrip trying to slingshot. Petty is out in front at the line. Waltrip to the inside. Petty wins it. And here comes a $60,000 car becoming a 22-passenger school bus. And there's a fight between Cale Yarborough and Donnie Allison. The tempers overflowing. They're angry. They know they have lost. And what a bitter defeat.
In NASCAR's first ever televised race, fans would see unforgettable racing, a rookie storm onto the scene, a last lap crash, an unforgettable last lap pass, and perhaps NASCAR's greatest driver winning a record 6th Daytona 500. At this time, Richard Petty was considered NASCAR's greatest driver. His stats today are seen as untouchable. With his 200 career wins and 7 Winston Cups, the thought of anyone competing with numbers like that was seen as laughable. And if someone was going to do it, it would need to be a driver that no one has ever seen before. Dale Earnhardt ended up winning his first race 2 months later and finished 7th in points and won the 1979 Rookie of the Year. After Dale Earnhardt's stellar season in 1979, everyone knew he would be a star and win the Winston Cup eventually, but no one knew how soon that day would come, as Dale Earnhardt would win the Winston Cup the very next season in only his 2nd attempt, which shocked everyone, becoming at the time the 15th driver to win a championship. But even though Earnhardt has proven that he was in fact great, he has still got a long way to go to be considered the best. After an incredible start to his NASCAR career, Dale Earnhardt would go through a decline in the following seasons. He didn't win a race in 1981, and then he would go on to have the worst year of his career. While he did win 1 race in 1982, he had an average finish of 19th and 18 DNFs throughout the season. One of those 18 DNFs that season was a violent crash at Pocono, where his number 15 Ford slammed into the concrete wall and slid down the track on its roof. The crash would fracture his kneecap. Dale Earnhardt wouldn't let this stop him from racing next week at Talladega, where he would suffer another heavy crash. This was definitely the worst period of Earnhardt's career, and people started to wonder if his 1980 championship was just a fluke. But Dale Earnhardt didn't give up. He pushed forward, and soon he was back in his winning form.
1 lap to go. As this tremendous group of cars thunders into turn number 1. Terry Labonte in front. Earnhardt is there in 2nd. Then in 3rd, it's Buddy Baker on the outside. Bobby Allison is in 4th. Harry Gant is on the inside in 5th. At 200 miles an hour, all of these cars contesting for the lead. Earnhardt closes ground. He's going to try the high side. Earnhardt going to turn 3 at 200 miles an hour. Winds it up. Fires it in there. And it's Earnhardt going in front. Baker to 2nd. Labonte back to 3rd. It is still Allison in 4th. And now on the inside, Terry Labonte begins to move. Labonte back to 2nd as they switch positions and shuffle down out of the turn. Dale
Right for Earnhardt. They're racing for 2nd back there. Open the door for Earnhardt.
As they come out of the trial, the checkered flag belongs today to the Richard Childress crew. Dale Earnhardt has done it again.
In 1984, Dale Earnhardt would find himself a new car owner, Richard Childress, and a new car number, 3. By 1986, Earnhardt was champion once again, and in 1987, he would go on to have his best season of his career, becoming at the time only the 6th driver to have 3 championships. However, 1987 won't only be remembered for Earnhardt's stellar season.